Kano theory. I don't know if you're familiar with this, the Japanese theory around that products have three attributes. He was a professor at the University of Tokyo. And there are basically table stakes, which are necessary attributes for a product, but they don't create any happiness. They don't create, it's simply, if you buy a brand of milk and the carton leaks, you won't buy that brand more than twice. But nobody ever cares, I love this brand of milk because the carton is so reliable. It's just a given. And those are kind of just basic functional attributes. Then there are performance attributes, which are more closely aligned. And the relationship between performance and happiness tends to be quite linear. And that would be if you were making a cassette deck in the 1980s, that would be something like sound quality, battery life, those kind of things which engineers do, quite rightly, focus on. But then there's this third category of element, which is called a delight attribute. And the interesting thing about it is it's often surprisingly trivial or tangential, but it creates a disproportionate amount of attention or happiness. And an example of that in the 1980s cassette deck would be the eject mechanism. So that, the eject mechanism is not really central to the function. But when you pressed eject, if your cassette deck just went clack, that was shit. That was a crap cassette deck, and I don't want that. On the other hand, if it had a kind of damped hydraulic mechanism where the cassette hissed outwards and then was presented to you like a gift. And I don't know if you ever stayed in a DoubleTree hotel, but the DoubleTree hotel, they give you the cookies when you check in. And apparently the finance director of DoubleTree has been trying to kill the cookies for years. And the marketing director, to wind him up, it's always a him, isn't it? To wind him up makes the cookies bigger. But, I'm a Brit, okay? And I checked in at the DoubleTree and they said, to welcome you to the DoubleTree, here's a bag of our signature cookies. American kind of crap, what the hell is this crap, But the two things are, they've got an oven underneath the check-in desk, which keeps the cookies warm. And secondly, the cookies are really, really delicious. And so I took them up to my room and I turned on the television. Cookies, bloody. And then I tried one. It was absolutely delicious. And actually, rather sweetly, during COVID, they released the recipe, which I thought was a lovely touch, saying, you're probably missing our cookies.
Amazing.
Now, nobody ever says, I'm staying at a hotel, what are the cookies like? But the very fact that it's unnecessary makes it meaningful. So the extraordinary thing about delight attributes is it's almost the very gratuitousness of it that makes it so charming. And I think, so the very, anybody would worry about battery life and sound quality and all those things. But the eject mechanism is proof of kind of love. It's proof of discretionary effort. It's rather like the peacock's tail, that it contains meaning precisely because it's pointless. Only someone who really cared would do this.
Absolutely.
And so so this is why the finance director is often the enemy of innovation, because they're trying to get rid of the cookies.